there, welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. If you are brand new to my channel, yay, you found me, finally. I've been waiting for you. And if you're a returning subscriber, yay, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate your support as I try to grow this channel. So you already know, if you're a subscriber, that my goal is to save you time and money by giving you the inside scoop on filmmaking quality and content, so that you can decide whether or not you want to watch a film. So today, the movie I'm reviewing is called For Profit. This Christian comedy will be available on video on demand on July 26th, 2024. The movie is rated PG. It's an hour and 45 minutes. And my overall movie review mom grade is probably about a B, maybe a B minus. And I'll explain why in just a minute. First, I'll give you an overview in a nutshell, and then I'll point out things I liked, things I didn't like, tips for parents, themes worth talking about, funny lines, interesting lines, and then I'll end up with recommendations for other films that are sort of similar that you might also really like. All right, so let's dive in. In a nutshell, For Profit tells the story of Damon Fisher, who's played by Ben Martin. He's a struggling entrepreneur who encounters the relentlessly encouraging Archangel Raphael, who's played beautifully by Valentina Garcia, revealing that he has been chosen by God to become a part-time prophet with the divine mission to save his crumbling and corrupt hometown. To make matters worse, Fisher must battle an endlessly trash-talking demon in the form of an ever-present cameraman that only he can see. Yeah, are you catching all of this? His marriage, his business, and his sanity are all pushed to the brink on his spiritual quest to discover the ultimate value of faith. The film was written and directed and produced by Mark Stewart Iverson. Already, the film has been nominated 25 times for awards at various film festivals and won 14 of them. So kudos to the whole team. So quick tips for parents. There are kids who will be bored and maybe even confused by the storyline, and so will some adults. We see several people throw up. The angel Raphael says she's non-binary and gets annoyed when people use her wrong pronoun. Talk of death of a parent and a miscarriage in a marriage. So if any of those are problematic for you and your family, you may not want to watch this. But if you're totally fine with that, then I think you might get a kick out of this film. Some of the themes that are illustrated well are angels and demons, marriage, truth, faith, of course, helping others, political corruption, social services, and hearing with spiritual ears. I really liked that imagery. So in addition, here's a long list of things I really liked about this film. I was impressed with a lot of the actors. The cast did a really good job overall, and you can tell that they were having a blast making this film. And I love that. I think that rubs off on the viewer. Enrico Natale plays the cameraman slash demon. His snide remarks and over-the-top humor were entertaining. He also helped produce the film. So again, kudos to Enrico. And Valentina Garcia was a standout for me in the entire film. She's adorable and hilarious. And she's already won Best Actress from several film festivals. So I agree 100%. She just lit up the screen every time that she was on it. Christians will see that it's clever that the small town's name is Mount Zion. The soundtrack is lovely, and the title of the movie has double meaning. So the prophet, as in who in this city or in this town is trying to make a profit off of everybody, and is there a prophet, a real prophet, someone who speaks with God? The title cards between scenes were helpful and even pretty cute. So with that long list, there were really just a few things that I didn't like or just thought could have been done better. This is kind of an amateur looking movie. And so with some lessons learned, this next film that they make will be even better. So to start off, the shtick about the cameraman begins immediately without really showing us how that works. So if you haven't seen the trailer or read the film's description before watching the movie, you might be confused about where that voice is coming from and who the snarky cameraman is and why he follows the protagonist around. I felt like it could have deserved a little bit more of an introduction before doing all of that. It was just a little bit confusing because I had not seen the trailer and really read the description. And so you might be caught unaware. There are a lot of over the top wacky people in this small town. It's a lot to take in. I think it's fun to have a few, but when everybody in this town seems nuts, you're just like, wow, why are these people even in this town? I would have moved a long time ago. Now, non-Christians, sadly, I don't think will be persuaded to turn to God. It's lots of goofy, silly Christian fun. In many scenes, there is just too much going on, as I said, and that can be really distracting. For example, in one scene, the main guy is being interviewed on a radio show, but Raphael cries loudly and constantly during that scene, making it really hard to hear the conversation. Other times, various characters are talking, and the demon, the man with the camera, talk all at the same time. And so it makes so many of the scenes feel really chaotic because you're like, trying to hear what everybody's saying. And then there's oftentimes where they're physically doing a lot of things, and you're just like, and it can be a little bit exhausting and overwhelming. There's also so much yelling and anger. We only really get relief at the very end of the movie when almost everyone is finally happy. So I think that could be tampered down a little bit. The protagonist goes from being confused to angry to rejecting the angels to then being confused and then sad and confused and then accepting the angel and then rejecting him again and then being sad and confused. And I think that could have been cut down a little bit as well. Again, trying to cut down on the chaos. And oftentimes when you have a movie like this that's constantly expressing anger and confusion, you need some humor to balance that out. Now, there is humor, and that absolutely helps, but you don't see the contrasting happiness. For example, the married couple is bickering the entire time, and you're like, wow, do they really love each other? Do they even like each other? Did we ever get to see them happy? Never. They just start the movie fighting and going to counseling. And so it would have been nice to have some flashbacks maybe so we could see that they really do love each other and they do have common interests, hobbies, and values, because you start to question that as well. And then the demon carries this camera in Acts 1 and 2, but never again in Act 3. And I'm not sure why they decide to lose the camera. And he really didn't even need a camera so much. In Acts 1 and part of Acts 2, we see black and white as a transition. And we're like, why is this in black and white? And then it zooms out and you see he's filming these things. But we never see who gets to see the film. And really, would he have been just as effective as just the devil on one shoulder kind of a personality? And I think so. I don't know that he needed the camera. That just felt like, again, more busyness, I think. It would have been cute to see the angel and the devil on both sides, literally on the shoulders of this guy, maybe shrunken down or just even talking about, through the shoulders. That kind of a clip or a shot would have been pretty cute. Now, whenever I watch movies, I write down funny lines and interesting lines simply to share them with you so you can get a taste for the dialogue and the script writing. And so you can see all of them on my written review at moviereviewmom.com. But I'll share some of them with you right now. So one of the cute lines that Raphael has, again, played by Valentina Garcia, is she's just so everything, she's so excited, so happy, so sad, and experiences all the emotions. Anyway, and then she's saying something and she's whispering, and the main guy is like, what's going on? Why are you whispering? And she says, I find whispering to be more dramatic, which of course it is. And it was just kind of a cute line and a cute scene. I really obviously got a kick out of her. And then there's some really interesting lines that speak to the themes in the movie. Ben Martin has a father who was a doctor who passed away. And so he's still struggling with that and processing all of that. And he went to medical school, but he's not practicing medicine. Kind of funny that they call it practicing medicine, right? Like, shouldn't they be good at it? But anyway, the line that he says is, doctors aren't healers anymore, okay? They're diagnosers. They point and they name. And I think a lot of people are starting to lose faith in modern day medicine and looking for options and alternatives. Anyway, there's just one element of his personality and some of the challenges that he's going through. And then another line that Cassandra, his wife, says, she's played by Stephanie Wohard. She says, the truth is always best. And you hear that reiterated several times. Just say the truth, say what's in your heart, and all will be well. Dr. Sharon Fisher is the Ben Martin's, the actor, but the character's mother. And she says, to me, God is love. And that is a big theme throughout the movie, that we should not be fighting, and the division and the hatred. Let's just love, and we can solve all of these problems. One cute thing that Raphael, the angel, says is, God morning, whenever she comes into a room in the morning at the beginning of the day. She also encourages Damon, the protagonist, to take a faith walk. And I love that imagery as well. And that's absolutely what he's going through, although his is probably more of a faith run or a faith crashing into things while he's trying to figure things out. And then another line that Damon, the protagonist, comes up with it, I think is a really cool line, as he says, God is going local, not global. And that absolutely speaks to how God is a lover of one individual at a time. He loves us individually. Of course, he loves the whole world, but he speaks to us individually. He knows us and he loves us. And as a Christian woman myself, I absolutely believe that. All right, so while I was watching this movie, I instantly thought of another movie that's a classic that I think does it so well, and something similar to this film, and that is Bruce Almighty. It's so funny, it's so clever, it's also very insightful, and it's for all audiences, not just Christians and those who believe in God of some kind. And so if you haven't seen that movie, you definitely should check that one out. I really, really like that one. All right, so I don't want this to go on for 20 minutes, and so when you get a minute, hit the subscribe button, like this video if you found it to be helpful in whether or not you decide to watch this film. You can visit me all over the social medias, all the platforms. I'm as Movie Review Mom, but you can also find me as Trina Boice, where you can learn about my 31 books, my online courses, my products, and my other shenanigans. Have a fantastic day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.